Have you ever sat late at night, your heart heavy, asking yourself, is this person really the one for me? Or am I just holding on to something Allah never wrote in my destiny? This is one of the deepest questions in the heart of every believer. Because love is powerful, marriage is powerful, and Qadr, Allah's divine plan, is more powerful than both. We live in a world where people chase after signs in horoscopes. They beg for answers from friends. They scroll endlessly through videos, searching for hope. But the truth is simple. If Allah has written someone for you, no force on earth can stop it. And if Allah has not written it, no matter how much you cry, no matter how much you beg, it will never happen. The pain comes when we confuse our desires with Allah's wisdom. We think love is only about feelings. But Allah teaches us that love is about peace, mercy, and bringing each other closer to Him. That is why the Quran says, "And among His signs is that He created for you spouses from among yourselves, so that you may find tranquility in them, and He placed between you love and mercy." So how do you really know if someone is written for you? How do you separate your emotions from Allah's guidance? How do you avoid wasting years on someone who was never meant to stay? The very first sign that Allah has written someone for you is the state of your heart. Ask yourself honestly, does this person bring me peace, or do they bring me anxiety? When love is from Allah, it does not shake your faith. It does not make you restless with doubts. Instead, it plants tranquility inside you. The Quran describes marriage as sakana, a deep, calming peace. Not excitement that fades after a few days, not temporary butterflies that confuse you, but a steady peace that remains even when emotions rise and fall. Think about it. If every time you think of this person your chest feels heavy, your mind fills with fear, and your heart races with insecurity, how can that be a sign from Allah? That is not sakana. That is a warning. True love, when written by Allah, makes you feel safe even in silence. It makes you breathe easier, not heavier. Peace in your heart is not about having a perfect relationship with no disagreements. Even the most blessed couples had challenges. But the difference is this: with the right person, challenges bring you closer. With the wrong person, challenges break you apart. When Allah writes someone for you, your heart finds rest in their presence. You don't have to act, you don't have to pretend, you don't have to fight for their attention. There is a natural ease, a natural comfort, a natural flow, and most importantly, your relationship with Allah feels stronger, not weaker. Sometimes people mistake excitement for peace. They say, "I can't stop thinking about them. I feel addicted to them. This must be love." But my brothers and sisters, addiction is not peace. Obsession is not sakana. Real peace is when your heart whispers, "Alhamdulillah, this feels right," even in the quietest moments. So before you look for signs in dreams, before you search for answers in endless videos, look inside yourself. Is your heart at peace with this person? Does thinking of them bring you closer to Allah, or does it pull you away? Because if Allah has written them for you, your heart will not be in constant war. It will find serenity, the kind only Allah can place. One of the clearest signs that someone is not written for you is when you find yourself constantly chasing, begging, or lowering your dignity just to hold on. And one of the clearest signs that someone is written for you is that Allah removes the need for this exhausting chase. Think about it. When Allah writes your provision, risk, it comes to you even if you try to avoid it. Your food, your wealth, your health, they reach you because they were decreed for you before you were even born. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ told us, "What is meant for you will never miss you, and what misses you was never meant for you." Marriage is the same. If Allah has written someone for you, you don't need to humiliate yourself to keep their attention. You don't need to lose sleep begging them to stay. You don't need to cry every night, wondering why they are always slipping away. What is written for you will meet you with dignity. Chasing someone comes with signs. You're always the one sending the first message. You're always the one trying to fix things while they show no effort. You're always the one giving love while they give excuses. And deep down, you know, it feels one-sided. This is not Qadr. This is attachment. But when Allah writes someone for you, there is balance. You give and they give. You show care and they respond with care. You move toward them and they move toward you. You don't feel like you're running a marathon while they're standing still. Instead, Allah aligns both of your hearts to walk toward each other at the right time. Chasing is exhausting. It drains your self-worth. It makes you think you're not enough. But the truth is, if you have to beg for someone's love, they were never yours to begin with. The right person will value you. They will not make you compete for their time. They will not make you prove your worth again and again. And sometimes Allah allows someone to slip out of your hands, no matter how tightly you hold on. Why? Because He is protecting you. Because He knows that if you caught them, they would break you more than they would love you. Allah removes people from your life not to punish you, but to save you. So remember this. What is yours will never need to be chased. What Allah has written for you will find you in ways you could never imagine. Maybe through a family proposal, maybe through an unexpected meeting, maybe through a path you didn't plan. But it will come with ease, not endless struggle. The one Allah wrote for you will never make you feel like you're begging for scraps of attention. They will give you their heart freely, with dignity, because that bond was written in the heavens before it appeared on earth. One of the most powerful signs that Allah has written someone for you is simple. They become a path that brings you closer to Him, not further away. Love in Islam is not just about butterflies in your stomach, holding hands, or sweet words. It is about building a bridge to Jannah together. And if someone is truly written for you, they will not just love you, they will love your soul, your faith, and your relationship with Allah. Ask yourself, when I am around this person, do I feel more connected to Allah? Do I feel ashamed to sin? Do I feel inspired to pray, to wear my hijab, to protect my salah, to give more charity, to be a better person? Or do I feel pulled into darkness, tempted to disobey and careless with my deen? Because the truth is, the wrong person can make you forget Allah, while the right person makes you remember Him more. The wrong person makes haram feel easy, while the right person makes halal feel beautiful. Think about the marriages of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His wives were not just companions of love, they were companions of faith. They supported him, encouraged him, and walked with him on the path of Allah. That is what true love looks like, helping each other grow in faith, not pulling each other down. If someone constantly distracts you from your salah, if they encourage you to delay your obligations, if they make you feel comfortable with sin, how can this be a sign from Allah? Even if you feel attached, even if your heart wants it, that attachment might not be love. It might just be a test. But when Allah writes someone for you, they will remind you of the hereafter. They will remind you to say Alhamdulillah when you're stressed. They will remind you to make du'a when you're worried. They will remind you of your worth when you feel low, not by saying you're beautiful, but by saying Allah loves you and I want to see you in Jannah with me. This kind of person is rare, and that is why you must look carefully, not at how they make you feel temporarily, but at how they shape your heart spiritually. Sometimes people say, but I love him, even if he makes me forget Allah. But I love her, even if she makes me sin. My dear brothers and sisters, love that takes you away from Allah is not love, it's poison. The shaitan decorates it for you, so it feels sweet in the moment, but in the end, it destroys your peace. On the other hand, love that pulls you toward Allah may feel difficult at times. because it demands discipline, patience, and sacrifice. But that love will last. That love will carry you through trials. That love will echo in the hereafter when you stand before Allah and realize, this person helped me save my soul. So always ask yourself, does this person make me a better Muslim or a weaker one? Do they pull me closer to Allah or push me away? If the answer is that they help you grow in faith, then that is one of the clearest signs that Allah may have written them for you. Because true love, my beloved brothers and sisters, is not when two people look at each other. It's when both look toward Allah together. Marriage is not just about two people falling in love. It is about two families coming together. And when Allah has written someone for you, He does not just soften your heart. He softens the hearts of those around you. One of the biggest signs that someone is truly written for you is that Allah makes family matters easier. He creates acceptance. He removes unnecessary barriers. He puts barakah in conversations, in meetings, and in decisions. Yes, there may still be challenges, because life is never perfect. But the difference is that with the right person, doors open with ease. With the wrong person, you knock and knock, but every door remains shut. Think about it. How many people have tried to force a marriage their family strongly opposed? At first, they thought, it's just my family. They'll come around later. But years later, they find themselves caught between love and family, losing peace in both. That is not barakah. That is a sign Allah is protecting you. But when it is the right person, even if your family had doubts at the beginning, Allah slowly softens their hearts. Sometimes, parents who said no at first begin to say maybe. And sometimes maybe becomes yes in ways you never expected. That is Allah aligning hearts, because He is the turner of hearts. Muqallib al-Qulub. Let me remind you of something important. Parents are not enemies. Families are not obstacles. In Islam, marriage is not supposed to break families. It is supposed to unite them. So if being with someone is constantly breaking your family ties, pulling you into fights, and leaving behind a trail of hurt, maybe Allah is showing you that this is not the path. But when Allah writes someone for you, He plants love not only between you and that person, but between your families too. Respect grows, understanding deepens, and relationships begin to heal. Even if there are cultural differences, financial differences, or social differences, Allah removes mountains from your path. Remember the Quran. He places love and mercy between your hearts. 30:21. This mercy is not limited to just husband and wife. It spreads into the families that come together under His name. And my dear brothers and sisters, do not underestimate the du'a of parents. Sometimes the biggest barrier in marriage is that a parent has not yet raised their hands to Allah in your favor. And sometimes the biggest opening comes when they finally make du'a for your union. That du'a can move mountains. So one of the ways to know if someone is truly written for you is this. Family matters, though not perfect, begin to ease. Meetings happen smoothly. Respect is shown from both sides. What seemed impossible suddenly becomes possible. That is Allah's hand at work, aligning Qadr with love. On the other hand, if every time you try, the situation only grows more toxic, the fights get uglier, and the families drift further apart, you must pause. Because love is not meant to destroy everything else Allah commanded you to honor. My beloved brothers and sisters, if Allah has written someone for you, you won't have to constantly fight the whole world to keep them. Allah will place allies for you in unexpected places. He will open hearts you never thought could change. He will turn rejection into acceptance, and He will turn difficulties into ease. So never rely only on your feelings. Look at the bigger picture, because when Allah writes someone for you, the ease does not stop at your heart. It spreads into your family and theirs too, and that is a sign of true barakah. One of the clearest signs that Allah has written someone for you is that the patience you go through while waiting for them does not feel wasted. It feels purposeful. It feels like preparation. You see, when the wrong person is in your life, waiting for them feels like torture. You feel stuck, anxious, and empty. Every day you feel like you're wasting time, like your life is slipping away, like your du'ās are going unanswered. That is not patience. That is despair. But when Allah has written someone for you, the waiting process changes. Yes, it's still hard. Yes, it still tests you. But deep down, your heart whispers, "This is worth it. Allah is preparing me. Allah is shaping me. Allah is writing my story with wisdom." That kind of patience does not break you. It strengthens you. Patience, sabr, is one of the greatest gifts Allah gives to His believers. And when it comes to marriage, patience is often the bridge between heartbreak and happiness. Think about it. How many people rushed into marriage because they could not wait, only to regret it for the rest of their lives? And how many people waited with patience, only to be blessed with a spouse who was far better than anything they imagined? The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ told us, "No one has been given a gift better and more vast than patience." Why? Because patience is not passive. It is not about doing nothing. It is about trusting Allah while you prepare yourself. It is about holding on to hope even when doors look closed. It is about believing that Allah's timing is better than your deadlines. When someone is written for you, Allah makes the patience feel lighter. You begin to see wisdom in the delay. Maybe you needed time to heal from past pain. Maybe you needed time to grow in your faith. Maybe you needed time to discover your purpose before you could share your life with another person. And subhanallah, when the moment finally arrives, when Allah finally brings that person into your life, you realize that every single day of waiting was worth it. Every tear, every lonely night, every unanswered du'a. It was not in vain. It was an investment. It was Allah preparing your heart to receive the blessing at the right time. Patience with the wrong person drains you, but patience with the right person builds you. With the wrong one, you feel like you are standing still. With the right one, you feel like every delay is shaping your soul. So, my beloved brothers and sisters, do not fear the wait. Do not think that Allah has forgotten you. The same Allah who wrote your provision, your health, and your life story has also written your spouse. And if He delays it, it is only because His timing is perfect. When the one Allah has written for you finally arrives, you will say to yourself, "Alhamdulillah, every moment of waiting was worth this." Every tear became a seed of patience, and today, Allah has given me a harvest of happiness. Another powerful way to know if Allah has written someone for you is through the prayer of istikhara. Sadly, many people misunderstand istikhara. They think it is about seeing a dream of someone in white or green or red. They think it is about receiving some kind of supernatural sign overnight. But the reality is much simpler and much more beautiful. Istikhara is a conversation between you and Allah. It is you saying, "Oh Allah, I don't know what is best for me. You know what I do not. If this person is good for my faith, my life, and my future, then make it easy for me. And if they are not, then turn them away from me and turn my heart away from them." Look at how powerful this du'a is. It is not just asking Allah for something, it is surrendering. It is admitting, "Ya Allah, my knowledge is limited, but yours is infinite. My heart is weak, but you are the turner of hearts." And here is the beauty. When you make istikhara sincerely, Allah responds. Not always with dreams, not always with visions, but with clarity. Sometimes after istikhara, your heart feels calmer. What used to confuse you now feels clear. Sometimes doors that were always shut suddenly open with ease. And sometimes doors that you kept forcing suddenly close so strongly that no matter how much you push, they refuse to budge. That is Allah answering your istikhara. It is not always the answer you want, but it is always the answer you need. And that is why istikhara is not just about praying once. It is about trusting Allah through the process. Some of the greatest scholars said, after istikhara, whatever happens next, accept it as Allah's choice for you. Think about how much stress this removes. Without istikhara, you spend months or years overthinking, are they the one? Should I wait? Should I move on? But with istikhara, you hand over the burden to Allah. You stop chasing your own answers and you start living with Allah's guidance. And my beloved brothers and sisters, let me remind you, Allah never misguides a heart that sincerely turns to Him. If you pray istikhara with honesty and you continue with du'a, Allah will guide you in ways you may not even notice at first. He will protect you from harm you cannot see. He will save you from heartbreak you do not deserve. He will close doors you begged for, only to give you better doors later. So how do you know if someone is written for you after istikhara? You feel a steady peace, not just excitement. You see ease in the process, not endless barriers. You feel your du'as align with Allah's wisdom, not just your desires. And even if things don't go your way, your heart feels acceptance, not bitterness. That is the power of istikhara. It gives you clarity even when the world around you is confusing. So never underestimate this gift from Allah. Before chasing answers from people, before drowning in your own thoughts, raise your hands and ask Allah. Because if He has written someone for you, istikhara will guide your heart towards them with peace. And if He hasn't, istikhara will give you the strength to let them go. One of the most beautiful signs that Allah has written someone for you is that things begin to align without you having to force them. Life itself starts to move in a way that brings you closer together, and you realize, this is not my effort. This is Allah's Qadr unfolding. When it is the wrong person, you find yourself constantly fighting against reality. No matter how much you push, the situation resists you. Conversations turn into arguments, meetings never work out, families clash, doors keep slamming shut. And still your heart insists, maybe if I try harder, maybe if I wait longer, maybe if I sacrifice more. But the truth is, if you have to force every single step, perhaps Allah is protecting you. But when it is the right person, subhanallah, things start aligning naturally. Not perfectly, but with ease. The proposal comes at the right time. The families meet with respect. Circumstances that seemed impossible suddenly open up. What once felt like a wall becomes a door. That is Allah's way of saying, this path is safe. Walk it with my blessing. Remember, Allah is the best of planners. He controls the timing of everything in the heavens and the earth. And if He has written someone for you, He will arrange the timing, the place, and the circumstances in ways you could never plan yourself. Let me give you an example. Some people meet someone years before, but nothing works out. They drift apart, their paths separate. And years later, when both are ready, when both hearts have matured, when both are closer to Allah, suddenly Allah brings them back together. That is not coincidence. That is Qadr. And sometimes you may find yourself meeting someone in a way you never expected, through a family introduction, through a chance meeting, through a path that seemed completely random. But later, when you look back, you realize it was never random. Allah aligned everything. This is what it means when people say, what is meant for you will come without you forcing it. It doesn't mean you sit and do nothing. It means you strive, you make du'a, you put in effort, but you don't destroy yourself trying to control what only Allah controls. If every step towards someone feels like a constant war, if you're the only one fighting while everything else is resisting you, pause. Ask yourself, am I trying to rewrite what Allah did not write? But if things are moving with barakah, if you see Allah opening ways that you never imagined, then trust that He is guiding you. So how do you know if Allah has written someone for you? The effort feels balanced, not one-sided. Families slowly open instead of endlessly clashing. Opportunities appear instead of disappearing. And most importantly, your heart finds acceptance, not because everything is perfect, but because Allah is placing ease along the way. My beloved brothers and sisters, love written by Allah does not need to be forced. It flows, it aligns, it grows, because the one who controls the heavens is the same one aligning your story on earth. So do not destroy yourself forcing what is not yours. If it is written, it will align. If it is not, Allah will redirect you, and in both cases you will never lose, because trusting Allah is always the real victory, my beloved brothers and sisters. After everything we've shared today, remember this truth. Allah does not make mistakes in His plans. If someone is truly written for you, you will see the signs. Peace in your heart, ease in your path, clarity in your prayers, and barakah in your patience. And if they are not written for you, then no amount of chasing, crying, or forcing will ever make them yours. Do not let your heart be fooled by temporary feelings. True love in Islam is not about obsession. It is about sakana, mercy, and faith. The right person will not just hold your hand, they will hold your heart and walk with you toward Allah. So stop exhausting yourself with endless what-ifs. Stop comparing your story with others. Stop fearing that you are forgotten. You are not forgotten. The same Allah who feeds the birds every morning, the same Allah who brings life to the dead earth, is the same Allah who has written your story with perfect wisdom. Trust Him, make du'a to Him, pray istikhara with sincerity, and then release your heart from constant worry. Because if someone is written for you, Allah will bring them to you in the most beautiful way and at the most perfect time. And if they are not, Allah will give you someone better, someone who will make you say one day, Alhamdulillah for what I lost, because Allah replaced it with what I truly needed. So place your hope not in people, but in Allah. Place your trust not in timing, but in the one who created time. And remember, the one who relies on Allah never loses.